So, today we are presented once again with this parable. Of course, it's called Parable of the Prodigal Son, but we can also call it Parable of a Merciful Father. A priest was celebrating Mass for elementary school children, and this gospel was read. So after reading the gospel, this parable, he now asked them who was sad during the celebration. And one child responded, the fattened calf that was killed. So, we've heard this parable. I believe every father here will long to be like this father. And every child here, all of us are children anyway, in one way or the other, especially those whose parents are still there. So, every child would also long to have a father like this man, this very father in the parable. Every child that has gone astray would also love to be what? To be accepted the way this father accepted his son. I don't know how many who would like to be the elder son. I don't know. I don't know how many of us who would end like the elder son ended in this parable. The focus is more, for me, on the merciful father, the mercy of the father, the compassionate heart of the father. And also the child that saw himself, he has lacked the security of his father, and he decided to go back to his father. Even when he has rehearsed what he will say, how he will plead with the father, and when the father saw him and even made the movement to welcome him and embrace him, he did not say, oh, I didn't even know I didn't commit anything wrong. He did not do that. He still repeated what he prepared. He did not say, oh, wow, I'm even being celebrated. He was still humble. So today, my dear friends, this elder son was sad. He was the good one, the golden child, the good child that never left home, always obedient. But we remember yesterday the two people that went to pray, the Pharisee and also the what? The tax collector. After the the Pharisee sang songs of praise to himself, prayed to himself how good he was. At the end, he went home sad, unfulfilled, not with any sign of, peace. But the other person, the tax collector, just said, have mercy on me, a sinner. So, my dear friends, Jesus says, or God says, what he needs is what? Compassion, not sacrifice. So this elder son has been sacrificing, staying at home, doing everything that the father asked him to do. He never in any way disobeyed his father, so he sacrificed all through. But he lacked one thing, compassion. And the responsorial psalm of yesterday says, I want compassion, mercy, not what? Sacrifice. So even if you sacrifice out of compassion and love. There was this story of a man in the church, and during the homily, his phone rang. And you see the type of eye that the wife looked at him, like disappointed. And there was a kind of shufflings and little noise in the church. And the priest even abandoned the homily and began to rebuke the man that his phone rang. The man was full of shame. He was ashamed of himself. Out of frustration, at the end of the Mass, he went to a bar to drink. And he was still nervous because of what happened in the church. So his bottle of beer dropped and splashed even on other customers. He closed his eyes because he was expecting what would happen, remembering what happened in the church. And what happened? Even those people sitting around him say, "Oh no, are you okay?" They asked him whether he's okay. They didn't even rebuke him or, "Why did you do this?" The manager came and said, "Don't worry, I'll give you a supplementary bottle because I know this must have hurt you." And they all supported him. Nobody rebuked him, unlike in the church. So this man went home and never returned to the church, but continued going to that bar. My dear friends, do we at times see ourselves in the position of the elder son, who are not even so happy when someone who is, would I say, wayward, or someone who has fallen out, who is a fallen Christian, returns to church? How do we respond? Are we really happy? Do we show happiness to that person? Do we support? We have to learn something from members of a gang or cultic group or cultists. What do they do? If any of the members leaves the group or the cult or the gang, they will go out and do everything, leave no stone unturned in order to bring that very person back to their cult. They do that. But how much effort do we make? I know when it is a member of our families, we do much, we try, and of course give up as usual. But what if somebody that sits with you, you know about this person, maybe at work, you know his or her story, and he's no more or she's no more coming to church for one annoyance, for one disappointment or the other? What do we do? Do we go with that zeal, effort to do what? To bring that person back? Jesus gave a parable of a woman who lost a coin, and also a shepherd who lost a sheep, one sheep. He abandoned the 99 in the field, looking for one. So today, we're not just meditating on the prodigal son, we also meditate on the elder son. We can't even forget that servant who made this report to the elder son. You heard his language. In fact, he created this. He was also part of what made the elder son to be sad, the way he presented it. He didn't even allow him. So he has killed the fattened calf. He has killed it. Which means, why did he do that? He didn't do that for you. So we also meditate on how we present other people's problems. How do we present people's problem? How do we do that? So my dear friends, we long to be good fathers like the father in the parable. We long to be those prodigal sons who went astray and returned, and we accepted. But I don't think we long to sacrifice everything as Christians, but lack what? Compassion, like the elder son. We pray today that we always give room for those who have gone astray, support them, to help them, to bring them back. And even if we cannot do that, let us not constitute an obstacle to such a person. We pray God to help us to take from the example of the good father and also the son that found himself back to the father's security.